Alright guys, it's me Josh, aka Future Filmmaker 3940 here once again. I'm finally here to talk, spoiler talk, for Justice League. I do have my notes, which are right here, and I'm gonna do this completely out of order, so that way I won't shake things up. So, the movie's been out for a long time now, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you might want to go see it before watching this video. And just a thought, this is all my opinion. So let's get started. The first thing I have to talk about is the murder box sequence. I love the murder box sequence. It feels like the Lord of the Rings-esque type, and it feels like it's really cool, awesome, really fantastic. And I thought that was a pretty interesting thing that they chose to do, and that was something unexpected there. But I do have to agree that that should have been the beginning of this movie. That should have been the start of the movie. The opening sequence with Batman, I did look it up, and Joss Whedon actually did write that, and with the Parademon, and I really enjoyed that sequence. I really do enjoy that. What can I say about it? I enjoyed it. You saw the Parademon, Ben Affleck doing what he does. It was really great to see Batman do that and make some jokes, and the suit, and at least the jokes here felt natural with Batman instead of him just going around killing people, which I still don't like, but I can forgive it because it's part of Batman, and that's what he does. And I like seeing Ben Affleck do jokes here, and I hope he stays around for at least 2 more DC movies. The action scene with Wonder Woman stopping the bomb in this building with a lot of people, that was really cool, and I like that Danny Elfman chose to keep her Wonder Woman theme in there because she doesn't have an original theme, and the theme is still awesome. It's like I'm sorry. Every time I hear the Wonder Woman theme, you know I gotta geek out. I gotta be excited, like whoa! But Gal Gadot, her action scenes are really good. I really do enjoy her action sequences here. Barry Allen, I love Ezra Miller as Barry Allen / Flash. He was really good. He's not copying Grant Gustin again. He did his own take, and I liked the conversation with his dad, which is played by Billy Crudup, and it was good to see Billy Crudup in another film, and that was pretty awesome. And I know there were some scenes that were removed from this movie with him and Iris, William Dafoe, General Antiope, and the hologram scene. I know those scenes were removed from this movie, but there's been a petition going around, if you guys have been on social media, that they're trying to get this petition up to 150,000 people who signed it. I ended up signing it. I kind of regret it, but I'm also very happy I signed, because the problem I have with the movie, despite me loving this movie, is 2 hours. I felt like the movie could have at least ran for at least 30, a few extra more minutes. And from the research that I've been doing, that the Zack Snyder version is 3 hours, which, if that version gets released, I'm gonna have 2 different versions of Justice League I enjoy. And I know people have complained that the musical score by Danny Elfman was just nothing but fan service, but he confirmed that he would be using the Batman theme from the '89 film and Superman's theme by John Williams. They only use it briefly, so I don't know why you people are just so upset because he decided to do that. Why? Because Junkie XL? Because you don't have Hans Zimmer's theme? Granted, I do like Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel theme, but the problem I have is that it is very loud and extremely aggressive, and sometimes in the first flight scene in Man of Steel, the music was a little loud that I couldn't hear the reaction of Superman flying. But it was still a great score, and I love the score for BVS. But here, it was great to hear Danny Elfman's music here. It is fan service, but it makes me happy as a fan to hear those themes, because I've missed those themes. The look of the parademons, I like how they look. They look really, really cool. They like the little alien, the little flying bugs from Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, from the planet Geonosis. And I love the CGI in this movie for the most part. Some of it, all of it. They used a $300 million budget well, and I have to give them credit for it. I know people were upset that this movie wasn't 2.5 hours, but this is the shortest DCEU movie. And due to the running time of the other DC movies, Warner Brothers, they demanded this movie, and they chose to have this movie be under 2 hours. And that's why the version we have now is 2 hours. I didn't mind the runtime. I don't mind it, but it should have been a little longer. I have to say that J.K. Simmons is great. For the small scenes that he has as Jim Gordon, he was really good. I loved all of his sequences in here. It's pretty awesome, pretty fantastic, and for his little part, he did what he had to do. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in DCU. I will admit, whoever plays him is J. Jonah Jameson. You're not gonna top you ain't gonna top anything that he did in the Sam Raimi trilogy. And I know my friend Vera 2591 is not a fan of the musical score, and that's fine. But here's something. In Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, they copy and pasted music from the first movie because Donner didn't want to use Ken Thorne's music in that film. So I felt like with the score, even though I love the score, you could have used Hans Zimmer's and Junkie XL's the Superman and Batman themes, combined them with Danny Elfman and John Williams' Superman themes respectively, make a mashup. That way, it would do that. Yeah, I know some people say, oh, it's still not satisfying enough. Junkie XL, he originally did the music for Justice League before Zack Snyder left. And he left to go do Tomb Raider 2018. He wasn't fired. And I do love the fact that Joss Whedon came in and finished this movie. Yeah, some of his dialogue, humor dialogue, he could have fixed it up a little bit. Some of the additional scenes could have fixed it up a little bit, but because some of the humor was a little iffy in some parts, but for the most part, I think the humor works. It was always the plan to have this movie be lighthearted than the previous films: Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad. And at least here, the jokes feels organic. And they were funny. Unlike some of the jokes in Suicide Squad. Even though I laughed at some of them, I'm gonna have to say it. Suicide Squad, as much as I like it, despite some issues I have, that movie should have been darker. It should have been R-rated. But I digress, because I feel sorry for David Ayer with Suicide Squad. I feel his pain. And hopefully, Warner Bros., you let him do what he wants to do. Let him make up for not getting that for people not being able to see R-rated stuff in the first Suicide Squad with Gotham City Sirens. Warner Brothers, don't do this to him again, okay? Let the directors do their job. Same goes for you, Fox, and same goes for you, Disney. And at one point, Ben Affleck was considered to direct this movie. Could you imagine that? Lawrence Fishburne was asked to come back as Perry White for a cameo, but scheduling conflicts couldn't allow him to do it. So but when you really think about it, where is that gonna go? Also, when one journalists and bloggers came to the set of this movie, Zack Snyder, when he said this movie was going to be having a lighthearted tone, Zack Snyder also said it was going to have a shorter runtime too. Let me just say everything else. And I do know that Zack Snyder left with his daughter. Again, they did the best they could with this, but Steppenwolf has to be one of the most. I don't know if he wasn't written all that well, or he was just kind of mediocre. But he could have been a lot better. But the CGI on him and seeing Aaron Hines does voice work was really good. I like that. And I felt like his plan could have been explained a little bit more. And there was a line where he says no lanterns, no Amazonians, no nothing could stop him. And I wish that was in the film. And the reshoots that they did, it did cost this movie its budget. Henry Cavill was working on Mission Impossible 6 at the time, and he had to sport a mustache for his part in the latter project, and Paramount refused to let him shave off the beard for the time he played Superman again, so they had to remove the mustache during production. And some of the lip movements is a little off, but what can you do? What can you do? It feels like the best of both worlds. Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder. There is a Green Lantern in that Mother Box sequence, which has me very excited to see how Green Lantern Corps is going to go. And I really enjoyed that very much. The sequences with the underwater sequences with Atlantis is actually really good. I love those. Again, what can I say about Jason Momoa? He was great. I loved his performance. What this movie did for Aquaman, it did really good wonders. It actually made some people love Aquaman after they were taking him as a joke. My joke is still Green Lantern, but I do love Green Lantern as well. But Jason Momoa, he was really great. I love seeing Amber Heard in here as Mira. Again, I was very hesitant on her casting, but I still wanted to give her a chance, and I'm glad I did, because Amber Heard as Mira, she is smoking hot as Mira. I'm serious. It's not the battle suit. I mean the green suit from the comics. But she's gonna have that suit next year, and I really enjoyed her. And her little chemistry she has with Momoa was really great. When it gets to the point where they talk about using the Mother Box to resurrect Superman with Cyborg hides, again, Ray Fisher did a really great job as Cyborg. The motion capture on him looked really amazing, looked fantastic. It really looked pretty entertaining for the most part. I have to say that the motion capture looked really good. When they talk about the Mother Box thing, it was really awesome. And I loved the resurrection of Superman here. I know people complain that there's no black suit. And me, I have been very anti-black suit on Superman wearing the black suit, because I was not a fan of the black suit from the comics. And I don't read my comics that much, but I did do research, and the black suit does heal him. So in the extended cut of the film that we're probably going to get, which was Zack Snyder's cut, I do want to see the black suit, because I have warmed up to this idea. I've warmed up to this idea before the movie was even released. Even though I still give it a little bit of crap, but I'm starting to see it different now. Superman fighting with the Justice League. It was really great to see him. I loved the small scenes with him and Amy Adams. What can I say about Amy Adams as Lois Lane? I think she's great. She's probably my favorite Lois Lane since Margot Kidder. I did enjoy Kate Bosworth, but some of the writing on her wasn't that strong. But Amy Adams did a really good job. Fight that he has with all the members, when the Flash is in his Flash mode and Superman looks at him and Flash has that reaction like, I know I've messed up. That was cool. And seeing Superman come back, seeing how powerful he is and how strong he is, that was really cool to see. The resurrection didn't feel forced. Granted, you could have used the black suit, but I'm okay that you didn't go there, because this movie is just, it's fine. His resurrection is fine the way it is. But when he overempowers Wonder Woman, that is why I was like, wow, Superman they went for it. And say what you will about BVS, but at least Zack Snyder had the balls and had the nerve to kill off Superman, because they've been wanting to do that for so long, and I'm glad they took it that route at the end of BVS. It's an act of sacrifice, an act of love for your planet. But when he goes over to Batman, grabs Batman, he says, you caused this. I know you. You won't let me live. You won't even let me die in peace. And then he says the line, do you bleed? That was used in Batman v Superman. And it looks like he's getting ready to kill Ben Affleck, but Lois comes in and reminds him who he is, and he takes him back to Smallville. And I like the little shirt that he used, because that was from the TV show, and that was really great to see. The final battle with Steppenwolf, it was awesome. I love the final battle. The Atlantis attack sequence was my third favorite part. This final battle was my second favorite part. And Superman's fight with the Justice League was really awesome. That was my favorite part of the movie. But the final battle with Steppenwolf and the JL was pretty awesome. And the way the Red Sky looks, it's really cool. It's really good. I really do like it. My only problem with it, though, is some of the CGI. It's a little bit too much CGI, but I understand what they were doing there. And when Superman shows up, it helped make it feel more awesome, because I'm gonna say the one thing this movie did that Fan Forcing didn't do. It actually has the team actually working together to stop him. And it takes more than 1.5 minutes in Fan Forcing. So it's a very good fight. I know people complain saying that this movie doesn't feel cohesive. It feels chopped up. It's not heavily interfered like Suicide Squad or BVS was. But there is some little interference due to the demanding of a 2-hour runtime. And I think if you would have just had this movie for a little bit at a longer pace, like 2 hours and 37 minutes, I think it would have been enough more time for some of the scenes that weren't in the trailer. But I am looking forward to the 3-hour cut that we're supposed to be getting, but I don't know if we're gonna get it or not. It depends on how many more people sign that petition and if the petition is gonna work. But I'm looking forward to see it. But the final battle was great. I love the music in the final battle. I don't care what anyone says about the music. In my opinion, it was necessary to have Danny Elfman do this. If you would have had Hans Zimmer, we would have had the very loud minister like blah, 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 like in Man of Steel. I'm sorry I had to do that. The aftermath of the battle is really good. You see all of them going their separate ways, and you see you see Dwayne Manor being rebuilt for the Hall of Justice, where they have more seats for future people, including Martian Manhunter, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Supergirl, who I want to see be a part of Justice League. Again, my pick is Dove Cameron for Supergirl, and Nathan Fillion for Hal Jordan Green Lantern. And two post-credit scenes I really did enjoy too. The Flash, the Superman sequence, that was very funny and very cool. It reminded me of the Supergirl and Flash end part of their crossover, very first one. And the Deathstroke end credits scene with him breaking Lex Luthor out of Arkham Asylum. That was really great. I really enjoyed that part. Again, the movie's not perfect. Again, like I said in my non-spoiler review, the film does have problems. Steppenwolf could have been more developed. I would have liked to see more of his plan. The movie could have at least ran for a little bit longer. Some of the jokes that Joss Whedon wrote could have been fixed a little bit, but I can't put any blame on Joss Whedon or anyone because they were trying to make it was necessary to have lightheartedness in here after Man of Steel and BVS. As much as I love the darker tone, the DCEU movies, I have to say this franchise needs to loosen up. But I'm happy that this franchise is going in the right direction, and I'm fine with what they did. And this movie is grossing $307.4 million worldwide. So, it's doing much better on the second week of its release. And I don't think this movie is a bomb. No. Anybody who says that, you should be ashamed of yourself. And again, I have said some of the problems I had. And does this movie still have issues? Yes, I've mentioned them both here and in my non-spoiler review. But there's more good than bad in this movie. But I'm not saying this is a masterpiece, because I still have my issues with it. But it's a lot better than what people has been giving it. And I can't wait until this movie comes to home media. I want to see it. I would like to watch it again, because I had a good time with this movie. This ain't the train wreck everybody says it is. You people go way too far. If you people will stop relying on Rotten Tomatoes and follow your own and make your own opinion, we wouldn't have to do this. I hope that website crashes and burns, because the more people go on Rotten Tomatoes and look at those rating scores for these movies, the more people is not going to be able to enjoy movies due to that stupid website. That's right. Rotten Tomatoes, crash and burn. You don't deserve anyone to look at your little I know how your little system works, but shut the darn website down. Shut it down. But anyways, that was my spoiler-filled review of Justice League. I didn't want to make this too long. So let me know what you guys think of the spoiler. Let's talk spoilers down below. What was your favorite part, your least favorite part? Who was your standout? Who was the disappointing standout for you? Which scene was your favorite? Do you think this movie was heavily interfered? Do you think this movie is a step in the right direction? And I will see you guys later. And if you like this, you can come here and we can have a good time. And we will be back with more 2017 reviews and Disney Month. I've decided to keep Disney Month going all the way to December, because we have 22 movies. I have reviewed some of the Disney month movies, but I'm gonna keep going 20 until I get all 22 films talked about. But yeah, I'll see you guys. Bye everyone.